Welcome to your darkest fears, where nightmares begin. Story 1. The Substitute. You always remember your favorite teacher, but you never forget the one who shouldn't have been there. When I was 12, my school went into lockdown for what they called a non-violent intruder event. That was their way of saying someone got in who wasn't supposed to. But they didn't hurt anyone, at least not physically. It happened on a rainy Thursday in March. Mr. Holloway, our homeroom teacher, had called in sick, and we had a substitute. She introduced herself as Ms. Caro. She was pale, almost waxy, with jet black hair that looked painted on. She wore a long dress that seemed a decade out of place, and she didn't blink. Ever. At first, we figured she was just weird. Every class has one of those subs. The kind who makes you copy entire pages from the textbook and smells faintly of mothballs. But then she locked the classroom door, from the inside. "Quiet now," she said, pacing between our desks. "There's something in the halls. You don't want it to hear you." We laughed. Some of us even clapped, thinking it was part of a drill or a game. She didn't smile. Then the intercom crackled. "This is Principal Emery. We are currently under lockdown. Please follow all procedures and remain silent." But something was off. The voice didn't sound right. Slower. Croaking, like it came from a throat coated in moss. Ms. Caro closed the blinds. "That isn't him. Don't listen to anything it says." We stared. "You're joking, right?" I asked. "This is like a drama exercise?" She crouched beside my desk, her face inches from mine. Her pupils were too large. Her breath smelled like pennies and damp wood. "Do I look like I'm joking?" Then we heard footsteps. Heavy ones. Thudding down the hallway outside, followed by a scratching noise. Long, deliberate, like claws on linoleum. Someone whimpered. Ms. Caro held up a finger to her lips. The scratching stopped. Then a knock at the door. 3 times. "Miss Caro?" came a voice. "It's Principal Emery. I need to speak to the class." She didn't move. "It's okay," the voice continued. "You can open the door now." One of the kids, Kyle, stood up and started toward the door. Ms. Caro turned her head a full 180 degrees to glare at him. "No," she hissed. Kyle screamed. He backed into his seat. The doorknob jiggled. Then, it stopped. We waited. The scratching returned, moving down the hall. Then, silence. 10 minutes passed. An hour. Outside the window, the sky turned red, not like a sunset, like blood had been painted across the clouds. Finally, Ms. Caro stood. "It's safe now, for most of you." She opened the door. The hallway was empty. We followed her in single file. She led us to the front office, where the real Principal Emery was slumped behind his desk, gray-skinned with dried roots sprouting from his mouth. No one spoke on the bus ride home. The next day, Mr. Holloway was back. He asked if we liked the substitute. "What substitute?" the office asked. "We never sent one." And there was no Ms. Caro in the system. The security tapes showed us sitting in the classroom, alone. Story 2. Echo Drill. The alarm system in our school had this glitch. Every so often it would trigger a lockdown, even when nothing was wrong. They called them echo drills, leftovers from a previous configuration that hadn't been erased properly. But one of them wasn't a glitch. It happened during 6th period, last semester. I was in the library, headphones in, half studying, half scrolling. Then I saw the red light blink on above the door. A second later, the siren blared. "Lockdown! Lockdown! Lockdown!" At first, I didn't panic, just grabbed my bag and crawled beneath a table. The librarian, Mrs. Jennings, herded the others into the reading corner and pulled the blinds. "Echo drill," she muttered. "Just another false alarm." But then the PA system popped on. "Hello?" said a voice. "Hello. Can anyone hear me? This is Student Officer Gracie Dell. I'm hiding in the west stairwell. It's not a drill." I looked up. Everyone did. Another voice came on. A deep, gravelly one that didn't belong to any staff I knew. "She's lying. Stay in your rooms. Do not move." Mrs. Jennings frowned. "That's not protocol." Then a loud crash echoed from the hallway. Screams. Something heavy being dragged. The PA clicked again. "Please, someone help me. It got..." Static. Principal Horton. It's using his voice. Then silence. We all stayed frozen. My hands were shaking. I remember texting my mom. Just 3 words. "I'm so scared." No reply. That's when the door handle turned. Once, twice. Then the door opened. We all held our breath. It was Gracie, covered in dirt, her arm bent wrong. "I had to get inside," she gasped. "It saw me." Mrs. Jennings reached for her, but Gracie screamed. "Don't touch me. It follows contact. It learns that way." Then something knocked at the window. A second Gracie stood outside. Same face, same torn shirt. Only her mouth was too wide. Her eyes hollow. The real Gracie screamed and ducked under the desk. Outside, the second one melted, like wax under a flame, and slithered into the vent. We heard it move, inside the walls. Mrs. Jennings gathered us into the supply closet and locked the door. For an hour, we waited. Then the real Principal Horton opened the door. Or maybe it wasn't him. We don't know. Because that was the last thing I remember before waking up in the nurse's office. They told us it was a gas leak. They lied. Gracie never came back. And the announcements have stopped working ever since. But sometimes, late in the day, you can still hear her voice echoing through the halls. "Help me. Please." It's still here. Story 3. Room 13B. There is no room 13B. That's what they always said. But it's a lie. Our school has 3 floors. On the map, it skips from room 13A to room 14. But there's a door tucked behind the janitor's closet that doesn't appear on any blueprint. I found it on the day of our lockdown. There was no siren, no announcement. Just stillness. Teachers ushered students into rooms. Doors locked, lights off, the usual drill. But I was in the hallway. Bathroom pass. I ducked into the janitor's area, and there it was. A gray door. Label worn off. A faded brass knob. It was slightly ajar. I should have run back. But I didn't. Inside, room 13B was lit only by a single hanging bulb. Desks arranged in rows. And kids. Silent kids. Sitting. Staring. None of them moved. None blinked. Their mouths were open, but no sound came out. And in the corner, something stood. Tall. Slender. Dressed like a teacher. Its face had no features. Just holes where eyes should be. It turned to me. "You're late," it said, voice echoing like it came from underground. I slammed the door and ran. But the halls had changed. They weren't halls anymore. They were tunnels, carved in concrete, lined with lockers that pulsed like veins. And behind me, I heard footsteps. Steady, rhythmic, closer. I ducked through the nurse's office and crawled into a vent. Inside the walls, I heard them. The voices of the kids from room 13B. All are present. All except one. You. I woke up in the gym, surrounded by staff. They said I fainted during the drill. That, I imagined it. But the next day, room 13A was boarded up, and the janitor's closet was locked. They never spoke of it again. But every now and then, when a fire alarm goes off, I see a few students go pale, like they remember too. There's no room 13B, except there is, and it's still waiting for me. These stories may sound like fiction, but in the quiet moments between classes, when the PA hums too long and the teacher pauses to listen, maybe they remember too. Lock the doors, stay low, and whatever you do, don't answer the announcements. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe.